Hello everyone, you're welcome back to Jaytan's Clothing. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you how I drafted the pattern for this basic blouse you're seeing right now on your screen. I'm going to be showing you everything I did, starting from the drafting, cutting and sewing aspect. But in this video, I'll be focusing only on the drafting and the cutting part. And in my next video, I'll be showing you the sewing aspect. So if this is what you're interested in, you'll like to stay with me to the end. Let's get started. So to draft this, you measure your shoulder divided by 2. The shoulder I'll be using is 16 inches. Divided by 2 will give us 8. After that, you get your chest line. The formula for that is your bust divided by 6 plus 2.5 inches. The bust I'll be using is 40. So 40 divided by 6 plus 2.5 inches gives us 9.1. 9.1. You come here, you put that down too. Connect it with a straight rule. After doing that, you place your shoulder to your bust line. If you took this measurement on your client, you can also put down the value you got. But for me, I normally come down from my chest line by 1.5 inches. So this 1.5 inches is not constant for everyone, especially very busty clients. If your client is very busty, you can use 2 inches. When I mean busty, I mean a bust that is busty, because there are sometimes some bust 45 will not be full. So for a bust 47 and above, or from 46, you can use 2 inches from your chest line. Just come down by 2 inches. The next thing to get is your waistline. The shoulder to the waist I'll be using is 18 inches. The front waist is 18. Then from there to my hip line is 9 inches. Or 9 inches. So I'm using 9 inches for this blouse. It should also serve as my blouse length. So after doing that, I say we are going to put our shoulder divided by 2 here, which gives us 8. You also place that same measurement on your chest line, 8. And you connect both points together like so. So on your shoulder, you come down by 1.5 to get our shoulder slope. Then here you put your neck width 3 inches by 3 inches. That is 3 inches width and 3 inches depth for the front. It's like a constant for adults, 3 by 3 for the front. So you connect the lines together like so. After doing this, you place your bust measurements. So the bust I'll be using is 40 as I said. So you divide it by 4, we got 10. So on this place, you come over here, you get the midpoint. You get the midpoint here and mark. On that midpoint, you come out by 0.75. Then we connect these 3 points together. You use your straight rule here, connect it to this point over here. You mark like this. You get your French curve and you connect like so. So after getting this, it's time to place our bust span measurement, which is also called nipple to nipple. So to get this, the formula for that is 40, that is your bust, which is 40 divided by 6 plus 1.5 gives us 8.1. So this value you got here, you also divide it by 2 because your paper is going to be on fold. So if we divide it, we are getting 4. So you come here, you place your 4 inches. You come here on your waistline also, you put down the 4 inches. On your blouse length or your hip line, place the 4 inches also. You connect these 3 points together. We come to the waistline, you go in by 0.75 on both sides, which will give you a total of 1.5. So I'm using 1.5 for that intake. You can also use 0.5 depending on the size of your client, but for this particular client I'm using 0.75 on both sides for our waist dart. So on your bust line, you come down by 1 inch. On your hip line, you go up by 2.5 inches. So you connect these points together to get your dart. So you do this like this, and you connect this here. Connect this here to this point too, and here to here. So my waist is 34. 34 divided by 4 gives 8.5 inches. You place that here, and you always replace back your dart. Our dart is 1.5, so that 1.5 I'm going to impute it here. Always replace your dart that you took, because we're going to be sewing this one in. So when you sew this in and you do not replace it back, it's going to give you a shortage on your waist. Go to your hip, you measure your hip divided by 4. The hip I'm using is 48, so divided by 4 is 12. I'll place that here. Yeah, so there's no dart we took here, so I just placed only the 12 there. So you connect together. So like this. So now time for us to get our neckline. So you can use any neckline you want, but this 3x3 is like the basic. But if you don't want to use it, you can alter it. So on this place, I'm going to be using let's say 3.75. So I'm adding extra 0.75 to it. So on this place also, I'll be coming down by 1 inch, which is a total of 4 inches here. So I'm using 4 by 3.75. So we are drafting our basic blouse bodies. If you have watched up to this point, please do well to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you've not yet subscribed, and turn on your bell notification to get updates from this channel. New updates as it's dropping, you'll be getting informed about the video. So we are almost through. The next thing to do is to get our bust dart. What is our bust dart? Our bust dart is the difference between your front waist and your back waist measurement. Our front waist is 18, while the back waist we are going to be using 16. So the difference between 18 and 16 is 2 inches. This value is not constant for everyone. Each client or each person have their own bust dart. For some people, it might be 3 inches, it might be 1 inch, it might be 1.5 inches, depending on how busty the person is. So it's the fullness of your bust that's going to determine your bust dart. People that are more busty tends to have a bigger bust dart. So for this client, she's not so busty, so bust dart is giving us 2 inches. So on your bust line, you come in like so, 1 inch from this your nipple to nipple line. You come in by 1 inch also, and you connect these lines together like this. Is your blouse length. You go up by ½ inch. So we are done with the front block. So it's time for us to draft our back bodice. So to do that, you get your chest line at the back. Our chest line at the front and at the back is also the same thing. We go 9.1. So I'm going to be connecting it together with the front to get a straight line, which is this. So our shoulder to the waist for the back is 16 inches. 16. So on your waistline at the back, you come down by 9 inches also. That is our waist to our hip. You come down by 9 inches. So if you check the difference between this, your back waist and your front waist, the difference will be giving us 2 inches. So that was why we put it here, as I said earlier. So you need to tighten your zip so that there won't be any zip bulge at the back. So on your waistline, you go in by 1 inch. You go in by 1 inch here. On your shoulder line, you come down by 1 inch here, and you connect the lines together. So after doing this, then you connect this back to your starting line, that is on your blouse, on your hemline, your hip line I mean, which is also our hemline for this blouse. So this will make your zip to relax well on you. So the next thing to do is to get our shoulder measurements. Same thing as the front. We got 8, that is 16 divided by 2. Mark it down. You come to this place also, you mark 8, and where I'm marking the 8 from our starting line, not from this line, not from this our zipper line, from the starting point, this point here. So I get my 8 from there, and I connect the lines together. So we've gotten this. For the back slope, we are going to be using 1 inch. For the front, we used 1.5, but for this back, we are going to be using 1 inch for the back slope. And we are using the same width we used initially, which is 3 inches by this 1 inch. This is just like a constant neckline. So you connect these points together. After doing this, you put your bust measurement divided by 4. We got 10. So this time around, you are going to be starting the measurement from this your zip line, from this our zip line. So you place your tape there, from there, and get your 10 inches, which is here. I placed it here to get my measurement, 10 inches. So on this line, we get the midpoint also. Just fold your tape over like this, and you get your midpoint. Then this time around we are coming in by half inch. The front we use 0.75, but for this one I'm going to be using half inch. So you connect these three dots together, connect it with a nice curve. You see it. After doing this, we come to our waistline. We want to create our dart. So to create your dart, you use your bust span measurement you use for the front to put at the back. And this time around, we are placing our tape on the center line, not on the zipper line that we got. So the dart line I'll be using is 4.5. Why am I using 4.5 instead of the 4 inch we used for the front? When you sew your outfit, you will notice that the zipper line and your dart legs, they are getting really close together. So what I normally do, I always add half inch to that value, to the bust span value. So my original bust span value is 4 inches, so I'm going to be adding half inch to it, which will give me 4.5. I'll come here also on your chest line. You see where I'm placing my tape from this place, not on this line. Follow it step by step and you're going to get it right. 4.5. You come to your hemline, which is your blouse length. You measure your 4.5. So the dart intake we'll be using for the back is going to be half inch this time around, not 0.75. So I'm going to be using half inch, which gives us a total of 1 inch. So the same thing we did at the front, I'm coming up here by 2.5 and I'm connecting it. But this time around, I'm connecting it directly to the chest line. I did not come down there. You see it. So the next thing to do is to put down our circumference measurement. So my hip measurement is waist measurement is 34. 34 divided by 4 is 8.5. 8.5 plus our 1 inch that we took is 9.5. So I'll be placing my tape again from this zipper line. So I'll place it there to get my 9.5. So 9.5 is here. Then on my hip line, I got 12, which is 48 divided by 4. It's giving me 12. So I'm going to connect. So I've connected it. I'm coming up also on this place by half inch. The same thing we did at the front. And I'll connect it. So you see, so you come to your neckline. You can give it any neck depth you want, neck width. Or we are going to be using exactly what you use for the front here. Here we came in by 0.75, and I'm also going to come in here too by 0.75. Anything you took at the front width neckline, you also take it at the back so that they can correspond after cutting out. But on the neck depth, you can take different neck depth for the front and for the back, but the width must be the same. So for my back depth, neck depth for the back, I will be using, let me use 2.5. So I'm using 2.5 there. So I'm going to be connecting them together. I'm cutting the front first. You see what I did here? I did not cut on my lines first. I want to separate them. And while separating them, you give space here. I'll tell you why you need to do that. Because we're not going to be cutting this out. We're not going to be cutting this out. We're going to be sewing it on our fabric, main fabric. I'm not going to be cutting this out. So we need to add excess at this point. Yeah, you need to add excess here. So when I fold this like this, when I fold this like this, you need excess here. You see, as I folded this, as mean I'm sewing this like this now, you see that the lines have shifted. So we need to make it to be straight. That's why I said we should not cut on, because when you cut on this line now, you're not going to see what you're going to use to replace it. If not, you start joining a paper to it. So you fold like this so that you can get enough fabric there. After sewing, you won't be short of fabric at this point. So we connect it like this. So we're connecting it back like this. You see what I did here? So now I can now cut this to make this place to align together after sewing. So when I open it up, you see what it gave me. So this shape, it must be on your pattern, especially if you are not cutting this out. So I'm not going to be cutting this out. I'm going to be sewing it on my fabric. I'm going to be sewing here on my fabric. Each time you are done drafting, you always cross check your measurements. You see, I want to cross check if this thing are going to, if they are going to align together. You see the two waists, you see they are aligning. You see they are aligning together. So you also check the length too, if they are also aligning before you start cutting. You see they are corresponding together. So our drafting is correct. This is our front bodies. I'll be using an interface for this. The interface I'll be using is my ST. So I'll be using my ST for it. And there are some materials that ST used to shrink after ironing. So in order to prevent that, I'll be adding excess to my sewing allowance, like excess of like half an inch, so that after I iron my ST, then I can now cut out my main allowance I want for my clothes. Or you can cut out, like you can gauge the yardage you want to use for the blouse, then you stay everything. Then when you want to cut it out, then you cut out your exact sewing allowance. But I don't like doing that. I just like adding extra half inch to it. Then I cut out what I want to use. Stay it. After that, then I'll cut out my original sewing allowance. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I folded this on fold. It's on fold. So I'll hold it down like this. So my sewing allowance, I want to give 2 inches, but I just add extra half inch when I iron it finish. I can use it. So this is the method we'll be using to iron all our ST for future purposes. I don't know if you guys are seeing the check. So yeah, I'm just adding, I need only half inch here, but I'm going to add half inch to it. So to give me 1 inch. When I finish ironing, then I can trim off the main allowance I want, which is half inch here. But for now, I'm just putting only 1 inch. After ironing, I will trim off and put my main measurement I want. This is just to prevent shrinkage. Even here safe, everything, just add half inch to it. The places you put half, you make it 1. So for the down, I'm going to be turning it with the lining too, with half inch. So I'm just putting 1 inch there. So this for our front, cut the back. It's like this. So that I won't waste my material. So I'm pinning it. Remember, this is our center back. On the shoulder, we need half inch, but I'm making it 1 inch. As I said earlier, after ironing my interface, I'll give out exactly what I want. So I'm putting 2.5, 2.5. Yeah, making it to be 1 inch, because but I need 0.75. It's not going to shrink to that extent for this place. Where this shrinkage is more visible is on lining, most especially lining. If you give a exact measurement and you put estate to just shrink it, or velvet. So this is for our back. This is center back, this is the side back. So we are done with this. I'm going to cut out on my lining. I'm going to bring my lining out to transfer it on this. These are the kind of interface you can use on your fabric. This is a cotton interface, which is also called the stay. This is how it is. This is the stay. Then this is our paper stay. This is the paper stay. This is how it looks like. This one, it can be torn easily because it's paper. It's paper like, but this is the cotton. It can't be torn easily. So this is like the original one to use on your fabrics. You get. So this one is for people that pay well. Oh. Those that did not pay well, you use this for them. But most times you can also use this for your lining, just to reduce cost. So it's better you do a job and you do it well, and you don't do it at all. But for this blouse, I'll be using this for both the main fabric and the lining, because I'm just using it to teach us how to cut a blouse. The same. So this one, I need two of this interface. I need two of this paper stay. I'm going to be cutting one first. So for the back, I'm going to be cutting 4 of these. The back has two parts. So for the lining and for the main bodies. So I'm done with ironing my stay on my fabric and on my lining. So it's time to cut out our main allowances to it. We added half inch to the 2 inches we wanted. So now I'm going to trim it off because I've already ironed my interfacing on it. You put dark your pattern paper on it. So I'm giving it 2 inches sewing allowance. Follow it the way you drafted it. Exactly the way you drafted it. And now this is where this one started from. So I'm going to do this like this. This like this. This like this. Just extend it. In this place now. This is where this one is. 2 inches, 2 inches. So I'll just like, you know, just extend it aside to reach it. So this place now, most times you will just go and take half inch and bend it like this, like this. But when you roll this line straight like this, you figure out that you actually did not even give any allowance here. So the best way to do this is you just place your tape like this, then you trace out, so that from there you take your half inch upwards. You see what I did there? So now connect this one back to this place. Here now, you see I'm putting this 1 inch on here, so it to serve like a guideline for me to know where I'll put my half inch allowance. You see, so I can now connect this back to this place. So that's how you do it. So half inch all around. I also give it half inch allowance. So I'm done with this. I'm going to cut this out, then I'll place it on my lining to cut the same thing. I bring my lining and cut out the same thing, the exact same thing. So I'll just place this on it and cut out the same thing. I'm going to cut out the back. Then before you remove your paper, you see this that I want to transfer it on my pattern paper. So it's easy, you just use your pin. This from this place, you're going to pin down this place, this place, this place, and this place. You transfer it on your pattern paper. You see I've pinned it down. Okay, let's pin the center. Then I'll pin this center too. You see, just like this, so I know your point. So you go at the back of this your fabric, you use your pen or anything that can be visible. You see, I hope you are seeing this. Then you come to this place, pin it down too, so that I can see it also on my main fabric. You see it now, you see the pin. I'll come here and mark it down too. I'll turn it like this. I'll come here, pin it down, remove it also. You come to this place, you shift your pattern paper like this and pin this one. So we've gotten our 3 dots on both the main fabric and on the lining. This our side back. We're going to be using the same 2 inches we used for the front. At the down, we use half inch too. So at this point, our zip allowance is 0.7. So I'm going to use it 0.7. The same thing on its lining. So I will be repeating the same process of transferring our dart points to the fabric just as we did in the front. You just pin them down with your pins and transfer the points to your fabric. This will make sewing of the darts on your fabric to be very easy for you. So if you've watched to this point, please subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and share this video, and also click the notification bell so that you'll get notified of when I'll drop the sewing video for this blouse. Thank you and God bless you.